The auto world moves fast. Some brands evolve, others get left behind. The once powerful names that ruled highways now struggle to stay relevant. Electric cars, tight budgets, and changing tastes are clearing the road for a new generation. And the companies that can't keep up, they're running out of gas. So, buckle up. We're taking a closer look at the automakers on the brink. From fading legends to forgotten underdogs, these are the brands that may not make it through the next decade. Number 11. Chrysler. Chrysler used to be a big name, but now it's hanging by a thread. After FCA merged with PSA Group in 2021, the new parent company, Stellantis, had too many brands to juggle. Everyone thought Chrysler would be the first to go. Instead, Stellantis gave it one more shot. Honestly, the problem with Chrysler's lineup is almost empty. There's the Pacifica minivan and the ancient 300 sedan that's been around since flip phones were cool. That's about it. They teased a new Airflow concept, an electric SUV that's supposed to rival the Ford Mustang Mach-E, but that's still a few years away. Stellantis says they're keeping Chrysler for now, but if they ever start trimming brands, Chrysler's name might be first on the chopping block. For a company that once defined American cars, that's a quiet fall from glory. A fall Jaguar's been trying to avoid, but the grip is slipping fast. Number 10. Jaguar. Jaguar had its moment. Sleek cars, fast engines, and that classic British flair. When India's Tata took over, the brand finally looked alive again. By 2017, US sales hit 40,000. For a while, it seemed like Jaguar was back in the race, but it never quite caught up to BMW, Mercedes, or Audi. The shine faded fast. By 2022, sales dropped to under 10,000. In 2023, Jaguar barely moved 8,000 cars in the entire US. Meanwhile, Land Rover, its showroom partner, sold more than 66,000 SUVs in the same year. That's not a competition. That's a knockout. Things might look a little better in 2025, but Jaguar's still fighting for attention inside its own company. When your sibling brand outsells you 8-1, the writing's on the wall. Unless something changes, Jaguar's future could fade into the rearview mirror. A fading name in the rearview mirror isn't unique to Jaguar. Cadillac's been chasing its reflection for years. Number 9. Cadillac. Cadillac has been chasing its old glory for decades. Every few years, it tries a fresh start. They plan new slogans and new cars, but with the same struggle. Even GM executives admit this latest electric push might be Cadillac's final shot. The Lyriq and the ultra-luxury Celestiq are stunning, no doubt. The Escalade still prints money. But the question is, what does Cadillac even mean anymore? A recent report didn't help. It claims GM might spin the Escalade into its own brand, its own lineup of SUVs. If that happens, it's basically GM saying Cadillac isn't strong enough to carry the name on its own. That's a rough reality for what used to be America's luxury icon. Right now, the Escalade is the hero keeping Cadillac alive. Without it, the brand might fade into something GM only mentions in history documentaries. Cadillac might be running on reputation, but at least it has one. Polestar's still trying to figure out who it is. Number 8. Polestar. Polestar started strong. It was Volvo's performance arm. Then, Geely and Volvo turned it into a full-blown electric brand. The cars look sharp and drive even better. The ideas are bold. The problem is, Polestar still feels like Volvo's shadow. It hasn't built its own identity yet. The company went public, hoping for Tesla-style success, but that dream fizzled fast. Sales are slow, investors aren't thrilled, and the brand just needed a $1.6 billion bailout from its parent company to keep the lights on. That's not a good look for an independent startup. If the numbers don't turn around, Volvo might pull back. The company's new leadership wants excitement in its lineup, and Polestar was supposed to be that spark. But if it can't carry its weight, Volvo might decide to bring that energy back home. Polestar's struggling to find its spark, but McLaren's battle is a whole different race. Number 7. McLaren. Building supercars and racing in Formula One sounds glamorous. In reality, it's expensive, risky, and brutal. McLaren's nailed the engineering side, but money keeps slipping through the cracks. The company already sold its headquarters and part of its legendary car collection just to stay afloat. And now, Moody's has downgraded its financial outlook to negative. Unlike rivals like Lamborghini, McLaren still refuses to build an SUV, the kind of cash cow that keeps luxury brands alive. It's sticking to sleek, lightweight sports cars, but making those fully electric is a massive technical headache. The brand could attract an investor, sure, but that comes with baggage. Anyone buying in would also inherit McLaren's racing team and complex tech arm. That makes deals tricky. For now, McLaren's fighting to stay fast and stay in business. But Infiniti's running a slower race, one that might not even reach the finish line. Number 6. Infiniti. Infiniti was supposed to be Nissan's luxury star. Sales jumped almost 39% in 2023, which sounds impressive, until you see the numbers. Infiniti sold just over 64,000 cars in the US. That's 1/5 of what Lexus sold in the same year. The momentum didn't last. In 2025, Infiniti has managed only about 32,000 vehicles so far. Acura, which had its own struggles, still sells more than twice that. Even Porsche, with cars that cost way more, moves more units. So yeah, things aren't looking good. Nissan's main lineup already has the Z and GTR covering performance buyers. Add a few premium trims, and the gap Infiniti fills starts to disappear. Unless the brand finds a clear reason to exist soon, Nissan might decide it doesn't need two names fighting for the same customers. The struggle to stay relevant isn't unique to Infiniti. The clock's also ticking for Buick. Number 5. Buick. Buick's story is strange. In China, it used to be a superstar. But local automakers caught up fast. After decades of building cars for brands like Buick, Chinese companies learned the tricks and started making their own. Now, foreign car makers, Buick included, are losing ground in the world's biggest market. In the US, things look a little brighter. Buick actually outsells Cadillac, and its new Invista crossover is doing well, moving almost 29,000 units by mid-year. But that success might be eating into Envision's sales, which are slipping. Looking ahead, Buick's banking on electric. 3 new EVs are planned before 2030, with the first one coming next year. The idea is to go all electric by the next decade. It's a bold plan, but with shrinking global influence and growing competition, Buick's comeback might be running on borrowed time. Unfortunately, borrowed time's something Pontiac ran out of long ago. Number 4. Pontiac. Pontiac might be gone, but its name still echoes across used car lots. Once famous for muscle and attitude, the GTO, Firebird, Trans Am, it stood for raw American power. But in 2025, owning a Pontiac isn't about speed or pride. It's about surviving the headaches of a dead brand. The badge still draws people in. A clean Grand Prix or a rugged vibe for cheap sounds tempting. But under that nostalgia is trouble waiting to happen. GM shut Pontiac down completely, so there's no factory support. Parts are scarce, repairs get messy, and many mechanics avoid them altogether. Even when new, Pontiacs weren't known for bulletproof reliability. Now, electrical issues, rust, and failing engines make them money pits. Add weak resale value and insurance hassles, and that bargain becomes a burden. Unless you're restoring one for shows, driving a Pontiac daily in 2025 is asking for constant frustration. A feeling Lincoln knows all too well, just in a more expensive package. But before we get into that, hit like and subscribe for surprising breakdowns of the machines, the makers, and the mysteries of the car world. Number 3. Lincoln. Lincoln has been trying to reinvent itself for years. Ford's luxury brand bet big on China about a decade ago, hoping to follow Buick's playbook. But by then, the market was already flooded. the late start meant Lincoln never found its footing overseas. At home, the brand's entire lineup now revolves around SUVs and crossovers. Sales are slightly up in 2025, around 56,000 through July, but that still trails Cadillac by a wide margin. Cadillac at least has sporty sedans to draw attention. Lincoln doesn't. Ford's current plan leans on its partnership with Chinese battery giant CATL. That could help Lincoln survive into the next decade as electric models roll out. Still, the brand's identity feels blurry. Without a hit vehicle or a clear direction, Lincoln risks becoming another forgotten nameplate in Ford's long history. Forgotten. That's a word Fiat knows all too well. Number 2. Fiat. Fiat came back to America in 2011 with big dreams and Italian charm. The goal was simple: sell small, stylish cars to city drivers. But what showed up in showrooms didn't live up to the hype. The cars looked fun, but they broke too often and didn't earn much trust. The Fiat 500 had a cute start. People loved the retro look. Then the excitement faded. Sales crashed to fewer than 5,000 cars a year. The bigger 500L and 500X only made things worse, with reliability issues and cheap interiors. Even the electric 500e couldn't save the brand. Dealerships have closed, parts are hard to find, and few mechanics want to touch them. The brand that once promised style now screams hassle. With weak resale value, outdated tech, and poor safety scores, Fiat's American story looks nearly over. The charm's gone, and so are the buyers. A decline that feels familiar to another name under the same roof. Maserati's just wearing a pricier suit. Number 1. Maserati. Rumors about Maserati's future never seem to fade. Every few months, someone claims Stellantis is ready to sell or shut it down. The company pushed back on that talk in July, saying Maserati's goal is to lead luxury performance and cater to a select audience. It sounded confident, but the numbers tell another story. In the US, Maserati sold just over 3,000 vehicles through July, a drop of 27% from the previous year. That's not the sign of a thriving luxury brand. The cars are exclusive, yes, but exclusivity doesn't pay the bills when sales are falling. Compared to its Stellantis sibling, Alfa Romeo, Maserati faces the same problem: prestige without volume. The badge still carries weight, but not enough to guarantee survival. If Stellantis starts tightening budgets again, Maserati could easily find itself back on the rumor list. And that wraps up our look at the car brands fighting to stay alive. Did you find this breakdown helpful? Which name on the list shocked you the most? Tell us in the comments below, and click here for our next video, which will bring you more stories, more engines, and everything happening in the world of cars. Thanks for watching.